Blessed and wonderful evening, beautiful people. Hope you are having a lovely Sunday. Thus far, yes, it's the week during closer to Easter. Yes, I hope each and every one of you all had a spectacular past week. Yes, as this is the 6th Sunday of Lent in our liturgical observation for prayer and fast, setting aside that precious time for our Lord Jesus Christ. Yes, leading into for this week, which is called Holy Week, for all those Christians who follow Epiphany season. Yes, it's always a pleasure having each and every one of you all tuned in with me as I welcome you to another episode of Stay Inspired and Spiritual Love podcast with me, Shah. This is episode 37, and for those who may not know me, I'm Charlene Lewis, your inspirational host, and I help Christians and others who struggle with their spirituality with God and their inner self to go from being challenged to being inspired, helping them grow infinitely and spiritually, so that they can be fulfilled to become the best version of themselves. Yes, come right in. You can also state in the comments, the chat where you're tuning in from on this lovely Sunday. Hi, welcome. Come right in, the water is warm. Hi, Florida. Welcome, Miss Nettie. Hi, Mitch. Hi, Trinidad. Hi, Andy. Let's come right in. If you're watching live, you can drop an L in the comments. And if you're on the replay, you can definitely drop an R. Harlem is in the house. Yes. Welcome, Mitch. Just to remind you, your well-being matters and means a lot. And I would be sharing some amazing insights to keep all of you inspired and spiritually loved with the topic embracing the divine timing with trusting unfolding plans. Yes, so embracing divine timing and trusting our unfolding plan involves that shift in perspective, focusing on your faith and patience and accepting life's unpredictable journey. Yes, releasing that control and acknowledging your larger purpose in your life, which goes beyond immediate understanding, and trusting that everything happens when it's supposed to, even if it feels a little bit different from your assumed or own desired timeline. Yes, if you're getting value, you could drop a V in the comments. This trust allows for a deeper connection with the present moment and a more peaceful acceptance of whatever life brings. This requires your faith and patience and perseverance, recognizing that a divine plan is at work. When we trust that everything is unfolding as it's supposed to be, it creates that space for miracles and meaningful connections. It doesn't mean remaining passive, but actively embracing the present while keeping faith in the unfolding journey. Yes. Just to remind you that divine timing, in essence, is God's perfect timing. It is that moment that predestined long before we even recognize that we need it, unfolding that precisely as it is meant to be. Never a second too early or a second too late. Many times in our lives, we desire things on our own term, how and when we want, but whatever we receive outside of divine timing often falls short or proves meaningless in our lives, because what appears as a delay is often divine protection and preparation. Yes, aligning our circumstances beyond what we can see or understand. There are many times I recall instances when I exercised my faith over a situation praying and believing it's going to happen, only to feel disappointed when it did not materialize as I expected. So I'm leaning on to the trust and to put my faith in God timing, because what I once viewed as a rejection, I now see it as a redirection and a step forward to something much better. Who can relate? Yes, put it in the comments. Something that would be perfectly timed for when I would most need it and appreciate it more. Yes. As Christians, we should willingly embrace the beauty of divine timing, understanding what it requires, and the patience and the trust and surrender. When we do, we open ourselves to many blessings for beyond what we could personally imagine. And, beautiful people, sometimes, we lose patience, and that's where our faith lacks. But we should keep holding on to that faith. It comes in the right timing. Trusting God's timing is trusting His love for us, knowing that He desires to give us not just what we want, but also what is best for us. And when we lean into the truth of divine timing, we allow God to work fully in our lives. Our blessings then overflow. God's timing isn't just about meeting a need. It's about orchestrating the fullness of His grace in our lives. So remember these steps when embracing divine timing for plans to continuously unfold in your lives. 1. Release control, which encourages us to let go of the need to dictate outcomes and instead trust the process. Yes. 2. Acknowledge larger purpose of the plan, unfolding it. May it not be immediate apparent, but ultimately beneficial. 3. Embrace the journey, as life is often filled with twists and turns. Everybody goes through that. And embracing the unknown can lead to growth and discovery. 4. Trust in the unfolding of divine timing, because when things feel uncertain, they are part of the bigger picture that you may not see just yet. Yes. Be patient, because waiting and trusting in divine timing requires a lot of patience to recognize that God's timing is always perfect, even though at times it can be different from our expectations. Please seek guidance. Yes. Because at times we have uncertainties. So try and reflect through prayer and depend on God's faith. And deepen your trust within that part. So I hope you got immense value from today's amazing topic, because really time is one of the most profound concepts that shapes our lives. And learning to surrender to divine timing can surely bring your life to a sense of peace and purpose that transcends to the pressure we may encounter in our everyday life. Yes. I also have an inspirational and spiritual quote that matches our wonderful topic today. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and not relying on your own understanding." Yes. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6. Another is, "Wait on the Lord, be strong and courageous, trust in His timing." Psalms 27, verse 14. Yes, so there's a lot of things in life that, we look forward to, and sometimes it doesn't come in the time that we would like. Trust the process, believe me. It comes in the right time. It's never too early, it's never too late. And you will be blessed. Multiple blessings will flow once you allow and surrender for God to do His work. So I thank you for tuning in on this lovely Sunday. We are approaching Holy Week, those who are Christians, and for the Epiphany season. Oh, and today's Palm Sunday. I got my little palm, So those who may have gone to church and be palm or blessings, may God continue to bless you. And looking forward to the celebration of Christ for Easter and so forth. It's such a remarkable celebration. Yes. So again, have a lovely afternoon, you and your families. If you missed it, you can go on the replay on Stay Inspired and Spiritually Love podcast, and that's on IG. And if you're on YouTube, you can get me on Charlene Lewis 568. All the replays are there. So again, thanks for tuning in. Bye for now. Have a great afternoon.